YouTube! Welcome back to Daily Finance. Thank you for clicking on today's video. And those who are new to the channel, as we had quite a few new subscribers this week, my name is Ben. I'm a board-certified general dentist that loves to do videos on passive income, ways to hyperdrive your income streams. And today we are talking about the Helium project and the 5 most common mistakes that I see some helium miners making. Those of you who have subscribed to the channel, welcome back. Thank you again for all of your guys' support. If you guys could go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button right here on the way in, that does great for my channel. And we have a special guest here. My dog here, Cyrus, is hanging out with us today. So thank you again for clicking on today's video. Let's get right into the details here. The 5 most common mistakes that I see with the Helium network and how you guys can avoid them. See you over there.
In due time, the money come, happiness and rum. Problems in your life, you gotta overcome. Seems a long way, but soon it all comes. In due time, in due time. In time, the money come, happiness and rum. Problems in.
We are back, baby. Yes, sir. We are back. Thank you for clicking on today's video. As you can see, we have 900,000 Helium hotspots uploaded to the network. We have been knocking on that door for such a long time, and we've finally got there. I'm sure in the coming months we'll get up to 1 million hotspots on the network. Today, on Friday, July the 22nd, the current market price of Helium is $9.48, and in August we are going to get the new mobile token, which is the token that you'll mine if you guys decide to do the 5G mining on the Helium network. So today, as you saw from the thumbnail and the title, we're talking about the 5 most common mistakes that I see and how you guys can avoid them when Helium mining. So we're going to get right into the first. Okay, so the number one thing that I see is those of you that are deciding to get into the Helium network and get some passive income, which is amazing, but you guys are deciding to get in without a location or a good or a decent location in mind. And so I'm going to give you guys an example here. The OGs will know that we always go and use Los Angeles as a reference point for for a lot of the things that we go looking at, and that's because I live in Southern California, but also it's a good example of what not to do, right? So in Los Angeles, there's a ton of people that live there, right? Everyone's trying to get into the Helium network. We've had 900,000 hotspots, as you guys could see, and as you can see from the what's up there on the screen, look how saturated Los Angeles is. We have some hexes that have 40 hotspots, and I just think that if we just arbitrarily pick someone here, Fantastic Flaxen Piranha, right? They earn basically nothing, right? Because of the saturation and of hotspots. So the number one thing that the number one mistake that I see is people trying to get into the Helium network, which is awesome, but they just don't have a good location to make some money, right? And so and it's not just saturation, right? So you should check your individual address to see how many hotspots are in your hex, and then you can look at the hotspots in your hex and see what they're making and see if it's worth it for you, right? There's an ROI calculator that I have. If you guys are interested in that, then you just input a few parameters and it tells you how long it would take to get your money back on buying one of these miners, if that makes any sense. So the first thing would be to check your saturation. The second thing is to look at your altitude, right? If you sit lower than everyone else, like behind a hill or something like that, you're trying to mine through radio waves, and the radio waves are unable to penetrate, right? Rocks, hills, stuff like that. So if you cannot connect to a lot of miners, then it's going to be difficult to earn, because Helium relies on connecting through radio waves, right? At least IoT Helium mining, right? We know that 5G mining is coming very soon, next month, actually in a few days. So that's a video in and of itself. But if you're trying to IoT mine in July of 2022, then checking your location and having a good, concise, clear plan on where you're going to mount your miner is the thing that I think can combat the mistake of just buying a miner and dealing with the logistics afterwards. So that's number one.
Were really slow, and I was really second guessing my decision to buy this thing. Day one, we made 0.01 HNT, or at the time of recording this, around 24 cents. Day two, $0. Day three, things felt like they were getting better, and we earned 0.04 HNT, or around 96 cents. Day four, back down to 0.01 HNT. Day five and six, back up to 0.04 HNT. Okay. But day seven, or yesterday, things stepped up a notch. We earned 0.1 HNT, or $2.40. And from what I'm seeing today on day eight, we're going to earn about that same amount again. So right now, for our first week...
Well, when watching this video, I saw two things. First of all, Stevie Sells has a great channel. He has a lot of subscribers, and he makes really cool content. But just looking at the beginning of the clip, we see that he has a sense cap, which is an excellent miner. But this is the number two thing that I always see people doing. They have their miner inside, not next to a window, with a stock antenna, right? So that's number two. No wonder why his earnings are so low, right? Helium requires, or IoT mining, right, from Helium, requires you to have it at least near a window, right? But the biggest thing is height, right? Height and your location, saturation, stuff like that. But it looks like he got 0.1 one day, which is what you would consider a lucky day. Maybe he beaconed and he doesn't normally beacon. There's a lot of things that could go into that, but I think that if he was able to put it maybe up in his attic or really high up in the air, it would drastically change his earnings here. So that is one thing that I see a lot of people doing. They're just putting it in the corner in their house, plugging it in, and thinking that they're going to make 0.1 HNT every day or whatever it is, whatever the average is. Right now, with all of the saturation, you need the most things that you can do to get a leg up on all of the other miners in your area. And putting it as high as you can is something that will actually make a difference. So that's number two.
Over the past couple months, I've been trying to make some passive income with this Helium.
So right away, we can see that he actually upgraded his antenna, right? He mounted the antenna next to the window, and so that's actually my second tip here is upgrading your antenna can actually make a lot of big difference. But another, like, within that, it's kind of like people often just arbitrarily upgrade their antenna, right? There's a specific dBi for each scenario, right? And you have to plan it well, right? And get a well-performing antenna from a well-known company, and that'll boost your rewards. So arbitrarily upgrading your antenna may or may not make a difference, but looking at your specific location and where the hotspots that you're trying to connect to, where they are, and then selecting your antenna based off of that information is the biggest thing that I think a lot of people mistake on. So let's kind of finish watching this.
hotspot miner in my house. Let's see how we're doing. So before recording this video, my antenna was mounted on the wall right next to this window, and it's been that way for about a month now. So let's look at our past 30-day earnings. As you can see, there were a lot of ups and downs. There were days where I earned 0.18 HNT, or about $2.50, and then there were days that were much lower. On average,
0.8 HNT, 0.18 HNT is actually a really good day. So we know he has the potential to make some money here.
Though we're bringing in close to 0.08 HNT, or about $1 a day right now. But I noticed that the miners around me are still...
Well, if you saw that there, his miners, I wish I could scroll back, but the hotspots that he's able to witness are kind of in that cluster downwind of him. I don't know his altitude, but I'm calling it like south of him, right? So just having an arbitrary unidirectional antenna probably won't help him here, right? He would maybe consider getting a unidirectional antenna from McGill or something, and that would help him just kind of focus on the hotspots down, south of him. It looks like he's not in a very like it's not saturated near him, so he has a good potential to make good money here. But it looks like he has a omnidirectional antenna, and he's getting one extra witness that was like north of him, and then all of the hotspots were south of him. So he needs to position the antenna in a better position, and maybe even consider getting a single direction or a unidirectional antenna.
I started digging and trying to figure out what they were doing differently. So just today, I completely redid my whole mining setup based on that research. First off, I got a ton of helpful messages saying that I need to get this antenna outside.
There you go. His viewers helped him out, told him to move the antenna, get a better antenna, and move it outside way up in height. So there you go.
And up high. So I bought this 10-foot PVC pipe that I mounted to the antenna, and then I mounted that apparatus to the deck with these brackets. I also moved the hotspot itself to a new location and fed this newer, much thicker low-loss cable through this window and up to the antenna. So this is my new mining setup.
The majority of my experience have been using McGill and McGill products. If you have a decent location, the upgrade to an antenna is seriously awesome. I do have links to McGill products. So if you were planning on getting an antenna anyway, time to upgrade or whatever, please use those links. It just kind of helps me out. It doesn't cost any extra to use my link. It just kind of, gives back to the channel. And this video inspired you to upgrade your antenna, then, I would really appreciate you using those links in the description. For our friend in the last video clip that I showed you guys, maybe using a directional antenna, setting it to the south there, could increase his rewards by focusing on the cluster of hotspots downwind of him. So again, don't just go for the antenna that has the biggest dBi and just call it a day, because they have different radiation fields where the radio waves can be picked up. And so, to optimize your witnesses, right, which is pretty much our only way of making income reliably with IoT mining, is the selection of the antenna, which will help you out. Okay, you guys. So number 4. Number 4 is panic selling your HNT, and it makes sense with the market price. But as the crypto crashed, right, if you didn't cash out at $59 or $50 or whatever, a lot of people panic sold their helium, right, and it plummeted all the way down to $6, right? And for me, it's like it drastically hurts your ROI if you sell at such a discounted price, right? Again, this isn't financial advice. Again, do your own research, sell when you want to sell. But in my opinion, I'm not selling at $6. Which leads me to my last point. Lately, a lot of people have just kind of ruled out 5G mining, right, from Helium. I get a lot of comments on my previous videos talking about how 5G is just too expensive to get into, right? And I understand that, and it might not be worth it depending on your location and all of that type of stuff. So yes, I saw this this update here that there are 1,400 Helium 5G hotspots on the network, are 66,000 and 99,000 for indoor and outdoor respectively, which seems like we don't really know what the translation of mobile to HNT would be. But from what I understand is that there's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio between HNT and mobile. So if that's true, there are pretty significant earnings that you can have if you have the capital to put up front. The very expensive like $2,500 or $3,000 to get started with 5G mining, of course. But it looks like, at least initially, with the limited amount of 5G hotspots on the network, that you can make a good amount of passive income, and your ROI is probably pretty quick. We'll have to see when Helium drops and look at those earnings. But it seems like ruling out 5G, if you're truly trying to a lot of passive income, ruling out 5G could be a mistake that you could regret if you had the capital to put up front for the 5G network. So that's my fifth and final one. And yes, I just appreciate you guys staying till the end of the video, liking, subscribing. I'm glad that I can, bring some cool content, hopefully, to you guys. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful next week. Again, we'll come out with another video next Friday. And I just, if you have any ideas on what you guys would like to see, it doesn't even have to be Helium. It could be anything, stocks, stuff like that. Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for clicking on today's video. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.